Is it going? Okay, started. So, in case of graph-based proximity measures also, we'll just see how do we use various mathematical formulas to identify the proximities. This is again depending on the degree distribution and the edge weights also. So, in general, how do we measure the proximity? And also basing on graph metrics, how do we measure the proximity? So, that is what we'll just see in the chapter. Then we'll apply some of the data mining concepts called the supervised learning. I said semi-supervised. I think you know about supervised learning. You know the class label. So in this case of this, I don't have a class label, but I just know how are they similar. Similar, less similar, most similar. There can be a ranking of similarity also. So how do I know that? How do I know the influence of similarity on these graphs? So that I can prefer that node for next level of traversal. Then again we'll apply clustering. So we'll just see both of them here, supervised learning and unsupervised learning. We'll try both of them to look at the similarity of nodes and using them for selecting them for your random walk. And at the end of this chapter, we'll just see how am I going to apply them on the concepts of computer vision, text analytics, and collaborative filtering. Now for these three, I'll give you a topic, a domain, which you all know. You have to explain me what that is. In case of collaborative filtering, it is the best example is your Amazon shopping, even the Netflix movies, how you get a recommendation system. So how do I know that these two people have similar tastes? Is it for online shopping? It's for Netflix recommendation. Can someone tell me? I should find similarity amongst some people. One domain is Amazon shopping, other domain is Netflix recommendation.
Ma'am, it's based on search activities, ma'am.
Based on your search activities, okay? What you have purchased earlier, your purchase history, your search history.
Yes,
So I'm going to find a similarity. We are going to give a X by Y matrix, and X is one row, let's say one node, Y is another node. So I'm going to map them and see how many rows are similar. So how many common items they've purchased together, or how many are the common movies which they've watched. So then basing on that, I find that this is what is their point of interest. That could be an example for collaborative filtering, where I can classify nodes. These nodes are following this genre of movies, or these nodes are buying these type of goods or electronic goods or something like that. I can recommend them. So that is what is the purpose of similarity measurement basing on the properties of a user. Coming to text analytics, I wanted you to refer this with respect to Google search. Can someone tell me what is the role of Google search query recommendation and the similarities? When you are typing a Google query, what happens? How do you get the similar phrases?
Mostly searched.
Mostly search phrases together.
And
These words.
yes, our previous searches.
So what could be the logic behind that? No, not only your previous search. What could be the logic behind? Let us say I am typing it in this Google search engine. I am typing a word called, what do I say? Look at this. I am typing income. So look at the words. I just typed a word called income. This is from my history only. Look at this. I have got tax department, e-filing, slab, calculator, certificate, and expenditure account shows. So look at these words. These are all some relevant words which are frequently typed by users of Google search. So what is the logic behind this? How do I get these words? A developer, as a developer, think like a developer, think like a programmer, and tell me how can we get these words so fast?
Pattern matching, ma'am.
Good, pattern matching is a good answer. Any other data structures clue? The Python people, you can get DS people. How do I get these words?
I think we use a
Based on number
dictionary.
of times.
Type.
One at a time, please.
I think
raise
we use a dictionary, ma'am.
Good. Dictionary is also a valid answer. But dictionary is a pair of words. Can I have multiple words for a single key?
I think we can have, ma'am.
In the second thing, like key value pair only. Dictionary is a key value pair. So I can get 1 to 1 only. How do you get
Pattern
multiple
matching.
here? Pattern matching, okay. Dictionary is also correct. I don't say no for that. Dictionary is also valid. Any other answer? Dictionary is correct. Pattern matching is correct.
We can also have a linked list, ma'am.
Linked list. Linked list is sequential, I think. Okay. But for one node, again, we have got only one pair, no?
Yes,
Linked
ma'am.
list is also partially correct. All your answers are partially correct. Expand that. Go to the next chapter of data structures.
Trees.
Tree, okay.
Graphs.
The next step, right? Right. Graphs again. So for these words also, I can have such a graph of words. After income, if I get a word called expenditure, I'll get some other nodes. We can show them also. For every one such dictionary words, system is going to maintain such data structures of words. Such words, and depending on the frequency of usage, it is going to give a weight. So income, tax, these two are coming more frequently. The weightage is more. Okay. I'll just erase income. I'm just taking in only. Look at this. I've got India here. I've got Instagram. I've got India map. I've got income tax in two group. Look at this. So these are all various words. So depending on the alphabets, I'm going to get some words. Depending on words, I'm going to get some more recommendations. It's changing. Look at this. This is what is a part of pattern matching, part of data structure, part of linked list, dictionary. All of them are included here. So you're going to your search engine is so powerful that it is going to generate recommendations even at a letter level, word level, or phrase level. So look at this. If I change a word again, I'm going to get some more set of words. This is all basing on a graph. So they're going to maintain some graphs for words. And from the words and the frequency, the edge weight is going to be mapped. And the nodes are being mapped as similar nodes because these two words are found frequently together. So I think these two are connected. These two are found frequently together. So that could be a graph, and also the nodes. These words are the nodes, and edge weight is the frequency of co-occurrence. So now we can cluster nodes, we can cluster the words, we can classify the words. These two are not occurring together. These are occurring together. These all belong to one set of domain. Like I have something called data structures. So I get all similar words. Again, I talk about computer networks. I'll get some more set of words. So something like that. So my dictionary is going to store words also as a one cluster. Depending on the typing depending on the typing frequency of the user, depending on the alphabets and the word sequences, I'm going to generate some graph. And from that graph onwards, I'm going to predict what could be the next probable word. And I'm going to display all of them. So that is what is a sequence of activities in a search engine. I think I'm clear with that. Whose is this? Okay. Okay. That's correct. Your input is correct only. So is that point clear? That's about text analysis. Now for computer vision, this one should be addressed by somebody who are doing a project of image processing. And what is that? You're talking about edge detection and all, no? So how do you use these similarities in computer vision? You can answer something about your projects. What is the role of graph or similarity or random walk in computer vision?
Classification of objects, detection of objects.
Classification of objects. So again, basing on the shape of that, you can identify this belongs to so and so species, or you can say this is a color, this is an object, this is a living object, something like that. So for the edges also you classify them. These two come together, right? So you apply the similar clustering properties. If this color is this could be a next probable color, basing on the RGB combinations and all. Then you get an edge. So all of them are similarly applied to a computer vision domain also. So if this is the current point, even for audio also, if this is the current note, what could be the next possible note? So this is what is all about random walks, how it is going to change over time, right? Now, a small exercise for all of you. So this is one Markov model. Is that visible to everyone? A Markov model where it shows the probability of moving from one phase to another phase. This is what is a Markov chain, they say, the basic Markov model showing the probability. There are three states: no rain, light rain and heavy rain. So from heavy rain it may continue, the probability that may continue 4%. It may be a light rain with a 50% probability. Light rain to heavy rain, there is a probability of 25%. So this is what is a probability graph. Is the probability graph clear? Simple probability. No rain, light rain, heavy rain. This is for one of the example. Depending on the probability, there is a probability of change of state from one to the other. And remember, none of the states, the previous state is not influential. Wherever you are right now, from this, what is your next phase? I don't mind wherever you are coming from. I don't know about your previous state. I don't want to know about your previous state also. From the current state, if you are here in this probability zone, what is the probability to go from here to no rain stage, stay here only, or heavy rain stage? So that is what is the transition probability from one state to another. Is this clear? This is what is a basic Markov model. A random probability for one to change states. Your current state only matters. Whatever was your previous state, I don't mind about that. So my next step is going to be basing on the current state only. Is the model clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this is another model for a baby crying, eating and sleeping. I think now you can guess my question. What is my question of you to do an activity? What is your activity going to be now?
Listening, sleeping.
Huh? 3 states only? As a task of yours.
Speaking.
During a session, let us say during this session, either you are in listening mode or you are talking mode or
Sleeping mode.
is someone sleeping in my class?
No, ma'am.
Then that's not allowed here, no? I don't expect you to sleep morning at 9 o'clock in my class. If you are sleeping, I have this chance, no? What's my chance, Indira?
Task.
Task. And I have my spinner. My wheel is already there. So I don't allow you to sleep. So I use my own channels or mechanisms for you to be awake in my class. So for this, now tell me what could be your, this is during a session, during 1 hour of time, you have something called listening, talking, writing, or presenting. Writing or presenting. So these are all the activities which you are transition. So what is the probability for you to talk? Probability is very less, no?
Yes, ma'am.
For me to listen, what's the probability
Less.
for me to listen? That is less. That's what, because it's a one-way session. But from the next class, I wanted you to speak also. I had some discussion with some of your classmates. Next class, I will pick 6 people. You have to speak in the session. Oh, who are there? I'll tell you today only. Before we leave, I'll tell you 6 people who are going to speak in the session. I have to see them. You have to speak on a video. Okay, I'll dedicate maybe 5 to 8 minutes for that also. From next week onwards, last 10 minutes, I wanted you to speak on the session. Okay, this is what is a transition model. I think I'm okay with the transition model. So basing on the current state, you're going to have a transition to some other state. This is what is the probability distribution. Clear? So in case of real world, we can go for predicting links, keyword search. This is what is your keyword search in a graph. Spam detection. Vinod, can you tell me what is spam detection doing here? How do you know words are related to spam in emails?
Offers, free.
Are you Vinod?
Ma'am.
What is spam detection doing in graphs?
నో ఐడియా మ్యామ్, అంటే ఎలా చెప్పాలో తెలియట్లేదు.
తెలుగులో చెప్పినా పర్లేదు. ఇప్పుడు దాకా ర్యాండమ్ వాక్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నాం, గ్రాఫ్ ట్రావెల్సల్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. సో స్పామ్ అని ఎలా డిటెక్ట్ చేస్తారు? ఒక మెయిల్ని స్పామ్ అని ఎలా డిటెక్ట్ చేస్తారు?
అంటే అన్ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఏమైనా వస్తే అలా స్పామ్ లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతాయి కదా.
ఎలా వెళ్తాయి? అవి వెళ్తాయి, సరే ఎలా వెళ్తాయి? Basing on the words in your mail, do you ever say that it is spam?
Yes, ma'am.
So there are some words which are classified as the words which are found in spam mails. There are some words which are frequently found in the subject of the mail or number of senders of the mail. No, not senders, sorry, number of recipients of the mail. Based on some basic rules, I'm going to classify. Similarly, this is from an ad agency. So I can identify them. So identify some of the emails or some of the words which are found in such mails. So classify the words and put them as one set of words. If your email contains these words, identify that as a spam. Find the similarity of your mail with the spam mail words. You have a dictionary of words that are found in a spam mail. Now check your current mail and see how many words are the matching. If more number of matching, then treat that as a spam mail. Else ignore it. So that is how we classify the words also. So this is what is the meaning of a proximity. Given a node in the graph, which other nodes are most similar to the node? This is what is your proximity measure. I think I'm okay with this definition. So if I talk about some x in the node, tell me what are the nodes of the group are similar to that, of the graph or similar to that. This mostly happens in a class also. Given x or y in the class, who else are most similar? Most friendly kaadu, most similar. Right? Then again, what is the influence or importance of a node in a graph? So how do I rank them? Why should I rank them? It depends on identifying who is an influential node and what do I do with that node. So I am also going to rank the entities in a graph. So for real-time calculation, it takes around order of n cube because I have to calculate AB to BC and again the next level, like 3-4 loops. I have to again calculate what is the proximity for A and B, A and B, A and C, AD, AE, so on. Again BC, BD, BE, again CD, so on. So I have to compute for so many levels. That's what I say. Computation for real-time graphs is huge, very complex to calculate. So what else are the measures which I can take to calculate the proximity measures for nodes in a graph? This is my next task. So this is the actual representation of random walks. If you see that this A of ij is adjacency matrix, it is unweighted, undirected. It is unweighted, undirected. A of ij equals to 1 if there is an edge. Otherwise 0. As simple as that. This is the adjacency matrix of a graph. Adjacency matrix G and A is the adjacency matrix of that. So let us see this. So look at this graph. This is my graph. I have got 6 nodes and this is adjacency matrix. Look at this. For node 1, I have got edge to node 2, node 5. But why is it 2 here? Because there is a loop. So node 1 to 1 there is a loop. So it is 2. For 2 I have an edge. For 5 I have an edge. Is the first row clear? Look at the graph and look at the adjacency matrix. For node number 1, I have got first row where first entry refers to the node itself. As it has got self loop, I am written 2 here. Then again I have got an edge to 2, I have got an edge to 5. Similarly, coming to node 2. Node 2 has got edges to node 1, node 3 and node 5. Right? So look at the node, row 2. 1, 3, 5. So is that clear now? For any one graph, we just draw adjacency matrix with just numbers of 0 and 1 only. If there is an edge, write it 1, else write it 0. Now from the adjacency, we compute a degree matrix. Look at the degree matrix, it is purely diagonal matrix. It's a diagonal matrix where it is a sum of all the edges. Like 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4 here, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3 here, 1 plus 1 is 2 here. So this is what is a degree matrix, sum of all edges. This is only a diagonal matrix. What do we call it? Is a diagonal matrix only? Am I wrong? Only one diagonal, remaining all are zeros only. A of II is the sum of all edges. That is your degree matrix. Degree matrix is for every one node I write degree, remaining all are zeros. Wait, I'm waiting for the slide to move. Okay, can you see the slide now with the degree matrix and Laplacian matrix? This is adjacency matrix, it is 1 and 0. This is a degree matrix where the diagonal element shows the degree. And degree of II is a sum of the values of adjacency graph. Is this slide clear? And then the Laplacian matrix is D minus A. Okay, thank you. As simple as that. So for this graph, once we have the degree, once we have the adjacency matrix, then we write the transition probability. If you have an adjacency matrix and a degree matrix, then we are going to write the probability. So look at this. For the same graph, one has got 2 edges. So what is the probability for one to move to the other 2 nodes? It has got 2 friends, right? So what is the probability for node 1 to move to next other nodes, depending on the sum of all? If you look at this, look at the first row. Why is it 0, 0, 1 and 1? And also look at the sum of this must be 1. For this probability matrix, sum of this must be 1, sum of columns. Because you know the probability for that is going to be sum of, it should be a total of 1 only. So for any one node, the transition probability should be 1 by the degree value. Okay. Why is it 1 0 0 here? The second graph is a directed graph. The upper one is an undirected, equal probabilities. The lower one is a directional graph. Look at this carefully. From 1, where else can I go? 1 to 3 can I go? 1 to 4 I can go, and 1 to 2 I can go. So what is the probability for each one of them? 1/3. So 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. You can come to second node. Second node I have probability to 3 and 4. Look at the directions here. 3 and 4. So I have got from second node 3, 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. Third node, look at the out degrees. I have got only 1 to 3, 3 to 1 only. All of them are inward arrows only. Only for 3, I have got an outward arrow. So only for this I have got 1, remaining all are zeros. And for the fourth node, 4 to 3, 4 to 1. No other outward degrees. So 4 to 1, 4 to 3. Now tell me, do you have any doubt in this graph right now, in the transition probability matrix? Because your homework is basing on this. You have to draw me a directed graph write the adjacency matrix. You have to submit such a task by next class. I'll ask somebody to show these. You can take any graph, draw an adjacency graph, write an adjacency matrix and a degree matrix. That is task number 1. Task number 2 is draw a directed graph, show the transition probability. This is your task. You can write it on your notebook. I will pick somebody, you have to show your notes. If anything is not clear, I'll repeat. This is your task for next class. In the next class, I'll ask someone to show their notes. You have to be prepared. Draw a graph, any graph of maybe 5 to 6 nodes. Shall I repeat this one? This one, I think you're okay with this. This is simple. Coming to this, you want me to repeat or is it okay?
No doubt, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I'll take a pause with this because at 10 o'clock you have a class. We'll talk about the theory in the next class. So these 6 people are...
Ma'am, repeat the question again.
Question. You have to draw such a graph in your notebook. Draw one graph of maybe 5 to 6 nodes. For that graph, write an adjacency matrix and a degree matrix. In your class notes only. I'll ask any 6 people to show their notes. Any graph of your choice. Adjacency matrix, degree matrix. Then draw such a graph, directed graph, and write the probability matrix. That's it. You can write something on your own. If there are mistakes, we will correct it in the class. You can try it. You refer this slide. I told you sum is going to be 1 and also depends on the out degree. From node 1, I have got 3 outward nodes. 1, 2, and 3 only. So each one is getting 1/3. So this is your task. Directed, undirected graph, adjacency matrix and degree matrix. Directed graph, transition probability matrix. That's it. Right?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Now next week, these 6 people have to show their screen. They should speak in the class. Write down the numbers. I won't give you again a reminder. 1204. Wait, it didn't change on the output screen. Okay, 1204 is 1. Okay, then $1238 is the second one. $438. 53. $438, 53. Is the next one. 1202. $1251. The last person. Last six names opinion. 37. These 6 people have to show their screen in the next class. They should speak in the session. Done? Enough for today. Thank you all. Because your other class also has started, I think. Any questions you can ask me later.